Hi, everybody. I don't know about you, but I've had a breakneck holiday season. Just before Christmas, I started getting all of these emergency calls from various churches that hadn't really planned ahead for the holidays and needed an organist all of a sudden. I was glad to get the extra work, but it certainly kept me busy. At the beginning of this year, I was also kept busy with some personal issues that we'll talk about in a later video. In this video, let's talk about what's coming up in 2020. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Well, for starters, I'm going to be doing 4 self-produced concerts on top of the normal gigs that I have throughout the year. And the first and most important is going to be a charity concert. In that concert, I'm going to be performing my piece, Play It Like Virgil. Now, for those of you following the channel, you know that I have a 4-part series on who was Virgil Fox. And this is largely an adaptation of the narrative portion of the Play It Like Virgil show. The full show, of course, includes pictures, sound clips, live music, all these kinds of things, and is really a fairly elaborate production. We're going to do the show, we're going to take up a free will collection for the charity I'm playing for, and then I'll play a few more pieces of music to make it a really special evening for everybody who shows up. Also, I'm going to be doing an album release. I got bogged down on the last 2 tracks of my ambient pipe organ music album, and I'm finally getting a handle on that. And so while that release date for the end of last year, which was probably a little too ambitious anyway, got pushed back to the beginning of this year, probably I'm shooting for late spring, early summer to have an actual album release concert. So it looks like that's going to happen. I'm also looking for a multimedia artist who can help me produce an interesting show where we're going to do classical music and some type of interesting multimedia kind of show to go with it. And I'm looking for just the right visual artist to kind of help me put that together, and that should be an exciting thing. And then toward the end of the year, we're going to have a special Christmas concert that I'm working on the details to figure out what exactly to do with that. You know, so many churches now have gone so deep into contemporary music and wanting to do, non-traditional things at Christmas time. Well, honestly, I think they're maybe missing the boat a little bit, because most people, whether they're deeply religious or just mildly spiritual, what do they want at Christmas time? Well, they want to hear the grand old hymns like, "Oh, come all ye faithful," and "Angels we have heard on high," and they want to hear the baby Jesus story. And I'm trying to put together a show that would be suitable for presentation in a variety of churches and would be entertaining and enlightening for a wide variety of people on, the spiritual spectrum, if we want to call it that. Now, I've also got 3 major projects coming up this year. For my Rogers 825, my current practice organ, I have found a pipe set. Now, in the pictures I'm showing here, you see the pipes that go with the wind chest, and it's really the wind chest that I'm going to be using. A different set of pipes will go on that, but this is kind of a perfect setup for the Rogers 825, which was built to run a variety of pipe set configurations. I'll be using pipes from my grandfather's organ, the instrument I used to play when I was a kid, and pipes that were voiced by my mentor, Dick Stenger, and just kind of as an homage to them and to really complete the 825. We'll be doing several videos on that project. Also, finally, the Schober organ is on deck. And I have decided with the Schober organ, I'm going to largely keep it original, or at least in the spirit of its original configuration. Naturally, I will be making modifications that improve its sound, but those modifications are going to be kept within the realm of what was possible in the 1970s when the instrument was built. Those of you following the channel know that back in the 70s, I really wanted one of these instruments, and I was really fascinated with the idea of building my own electronic organ. And of course, the idea that one could customize the instrument to one's own liking was particularly fascinating to me. And I didn't get that organ when I was a kid, but I have one now, and it's going to be fun to modify that and really turn it into something fun and special, and something that maintains the spirit and feel of an electronic instrument from the 1970s. I'm also making great progress on my main studio. Again, those of you who follow the channel, and especially if you've followed my Patreon page, you know that I've been working on trying to get that room cleaned out and sealed up, and I'm absolutely going to need it because that's the only space where the 825 with pipes is going to fit, and where I can have the other instruments in my collection as well. So we've got a lot of things coming up for 2020. Please pay a visit over to my Patreon page and see some of the unique content that's over there. And if you really want to connect with me, please visit my Facebook artist page. The links for both of those are down in the video description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.